and all that good stuff today. So I thought I'd do this one because it's kind of cold out there, right?
It is.
So you're right. So we're gonna do an old song about you, each other, are you each other's sunshine, since the sunshine is just barely making it through. All right, you ready? So I'm gonna change hats, get my cowboy hat on. You ready? All right. And oh, hi, Neville.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. And I'm a little cold. I'm sitting here in my house and the heater's on and I got a lap blanket on. That's how cold it is. So I'm planning to do a little more dancing than we do, So everything's going to have some dancing and movement today so I can warm up. Selfish reasons, and you can too. All right, in fact, I'm already starting to warm up. So put your hand out like this, with one hand, the other hand, wiggle your fingers, and then just keep one hand out, or maybe the other hand, and you're going to point to everything in the room. Everybody, point to everybody in the room, and we're going to sing "You Are My Sunshine." Just point to everybody. All right, you ready? And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, when I was sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken. It's a sad song. And I held my head and I cried. Everybody point to their friends all around there. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Everybody sing. Please don't take my sunshine away. All right. I'm going to clap for you guys. I heard some good singing over there. And of course, my other advice is drink water. And I got to do that, right? Okay. So, you know what? It has been wild out in my backyard. And I do mean wild. The birds have just gone bonkers. They've just, they woke up and that good weather. Of course, we didn't have it today, but in the last week or so, we've had some pretty nice weather, right? I mean, I was out in my garden, almost hurt myself. I was bent over the whole next day, because I was just having too much fun in the garden. And so when I was out there, like I said, the birds just were going crazy. And I was talking to my husband out there and I could barely hear my husband because the birds were making so much noise. And so I figured it was that guy, that really cool bird around this time. He rocks a lot, right? He has a red breast. What's his name? Rockin' who?
Robin.
You got it. Okay. I'm already warming up. Okay.
You're
my third layer here. Okay, we're gonna get ready to rock, folks. Okay, ready to rock? So put your hands out like this, kind of get loose, and you're gonna twist a little bit into this one. Okay, twist inside to side. And if, of course, the words are, if it hurts, don't do it. But rock and rock. Oh, and I'm having some clapping, not napping. All right, put your hands together. We're gonna twist and clap. Okay, goes like this. He rocks in the treetop all night long, hopping and a bopping and a singing. All little birds on jaybirds love to hear the robin go. You guys, tweet, 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 rockin' robin. Tweet, 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 rockin' robin. Tweet, 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 go down tonight. Tweet, 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 pretty little raven at the birdland game. It's the star going steady and it bless my soul. The out off the raven on the oriole. He rocks in the treetop all night long. Hopping in the top and singing song. All little birds on Rainbow Street. Love you, the robin go. Come on, you guys. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
All right. Tweet, tweet, right, robin. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Really rock down tonight. Everybody sing. Last time. Tweet.
Tweet.
All right. That's for you. Okay, because thank you for tweeting along. Yes. So the robins and, you know, the birds and bees, they're getting all excited out there. So if you have any grandkids or, you know, they're probably starting to get, you know, sort of rowdy and, you know, who knows what else. Because the birds and the bees, you know, saps rising and, oh, and my tree, I have a plum tree and an aprium tree, which is a funny name, but it's a apricot plum mix hybrid, and they are blooming already.
Oh,
So,
hey.
yeah, and that's something. What's today? 3rd of March, and it's already blooming. So we're gonna a lot of sing about spring and stuff like that. We might also have to do some rain dancing, folks. We have to do some rain dancing because the weatherman or weather people just told us California is in for another, what?
Drought.
Yes, Neville, you got it. A drought. That's terrible. So back in the old days, you know, people used to do rain dancing all the time. I don't think it hurts. So we're going to do some rain dancing right now. So, okay. And I'm going to change hats, get into my rain dancing hat.
That's all.
Okay. So you guys have known this before. So we're going to walk and sing in the rain. Okay. But at this time, I want you to put your hands like this and you've got your umbrella. Pretend you've got your umbrella, right? Because supposedly it's supposed to rain on Friday. So we got to really encourage that, right? Even though it's tough sometimes, but you know, we need it. Okay. Put your hands upside. How about you, John? Keep going. Oh, and I forgot you got to move your feet. All right. Because we're going to get ready to dance in the rain. See how cold it was? I had this on my lap. Okay. That's a lap blanket. All right. Here we go. We're singing in the rain. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I'm singing in the rain. Just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds. Everybody point high up above. High up above. The sun's in heaven. I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. On with that rain, I've a smile on my face. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing and dancing in it. Move your feet now. We're tap dancing. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, John, move those feet. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Woo! Okay. All right. You guys are going to work up an amazing appetite for lunch, and that's a good thing. So yeah, we're going to keep moving. Anybody warmed up yet? Ready to tap dance?
Yeah, I'm ready for
Neville, did you ever tap dance when you were young?
long time ago.
Really? You did? Wow. That's so awesome. Did you take lessons?
Tap dance class. Years
You were
ago.
in a class.
Educated.
Right. I know. That's good. Education is good. I'm still working on that. And we're all, we keep learning. That's so good. So tap dancing, wow. My sister did that for a little bit, but she's about 100 times more coordinated than I, and I just never got that. She tried to show me, and I was like, oh, this is too hard. But now I like to fake it. Okay, might do some more tap dancing, and this is a tap dancing song. Maybe it's very, very old. All right, I'm checking. Wait a second. Maybe I have to get a more old-fashioned hat. Oh, there we go. This actually, to me, okay, ready? Look at this hat. Look at this. Tell me, I think it looks like an exotic bird, right? What do you think?
Very nice.
Isn't that great? Marla gave that to me, and I love it. And to me, it's totally, you can sing it about, and we're going to sing and swing about birds. And so, since we're talking birds here, we're going to put our hands on our shoulders. Hands on your shoulders, if you can. Can you do that, John? There we go. And all right. So we're going to sing like the birdies sing and move a little and do a little moving like the bird and get ready to flap our wings. You ready? Let's all sing like the birdies sing. Everybody, tweet, 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 tweet. Let's all warble like nightingale. In your throat a tweet. Take your time from the birds. Now you all know those words. Everybody sing. Tweet, 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 tweet. Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That is a really good one. So, okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. Since we're in early spring, and here in California, this is our only real time where we get really bright green grass. And of course, the flowers start blooming and stuff like that. Blossoms are blooming. And can you remember any certain spot when you were a little younger that you like to go, or just maybe even go now if somebody says, hey, let's take a little ride somewhere around here, where would you go to see some flowers? Yes, Neville.
Lake Nacimiento was one of the places.
Really? Lake Nacimiento.
Yeah.
Down in Southern California, sort of the middle of California, right?
Very nice out there. Very
Oh, really? I'll have to go there. I have never been out there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I bet that's real pretty around this time of year. I bet it's a little too hot in the summer, though. Boy, oh boy, right?
It gets hot.
Yes, I bet it gets hot. The fishing's good there too, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's, of course, why you like it, because you're a fisherman. All right. Well, we might sing a fishing song again too, because it's fishing time. All right. So Wayne, what's your favorite spot around here, or maybe in California, to go wandering in the springtime?
Oh, well, all my life I've been going up to Tilden Park.
Tilden Park, yay, Tilden Park. That's so cool. I know. I love Tilden Park. There's some great walks there. There's some really pretty ones. And yeah, you don't have to go too far. In fact, if you're really very, in good shape, your legs in good shape, you can leave right from the Claremont Hotel or top of Dwight Way and just go right up in there. Yeah, it's such a good time to do that. Good. Right. So how about you, John? Favorite spot in the in the spring of the year here in California, or back east if you want. Any favorite spots?
No.
Where here?
Where? No. Where do you like to walk? Where do I like to walk?
How about the bay? Because he loves a boat. John, I don't know, John, if everybody knows that John and his wife sailed, was it across the Pacific?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, you know what? I bet it was on a boat somewhere, in the bay, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. That's a good time to go out there. Because in the spring, you get some really good weather sometimes, So Beatrice, I haven't forgot you. Where do you like to go in the spring of the year? when everything's green and blooming?
Where would you like?
Where do you go? Any place.
She's gonna pass.
She's going to pass. Okay. Okay. Because I was thinking your backyard. One of my favorite spots is my backyard. Watch the flowers that I planted bloom. That's a cool place. Do you like to do that, Beatrice?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See, go out to your backyard. Sometimes that's the nicest place to go. You don't have to get in your car or anything. How about you, Trudy?
Yeah.
Where's your favorite spot to go in the spring of the year?
Spring of the year,
Yeah.
East San Diego. San
Right there.
East San Diego.
Oh, on the river. Is that what you said? You know, it's kind of hard for me through.
East San Diego.
Oh, near San Diego. Oh, man, San Diego. Thank you. I heard. Oh, man, I love near San Diego. Oh, do you know, one year, my husband and I, and my daughter, I think my daughter, yeah, she was a little baby, you're 2 years old. We went down and stayed at a friend's in the spring break in San Diego. Oh my gosh, what a great spot. Went to this place, Torrey Pines, and went to a beach. Oh, that place, wow, that's like paradise. It's amazing you came up to the frozen north here, Trudy, after leaving San Diego. Because the weather is just about perfect. All right. Well, I like to go to the desert, okay, in the spring of the year. And so I'm going to sing a desert song. And this is a kind of a, it's a sort of a lullaby, not a lullaby, but it's sort of a waltz, okay? And it's about the tumbling. So everybody put your hands up like this. Get ready to tumble. Tumbling. Tumbling tumbleweeds. See them tumbling down, sharing their love with the ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweeds. Cares of the past are behind, nowhere to go but I'll find just where the trail will wind, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweeds. I know when night is gone, that a new day's born at dawn. Oh, keep rolling along. Deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweeds. Yeah. All right. Isn't that a good one? I love to go out desert in the spring, but I'm not sure I could do it the way I used to do it because, well, I'm just not a good camper anymore at all. But yeah, we used to go out. I put my my desert hat. This is desert rose hat because it's kind of pink. We used to go out to the desert and, put up our tent and hang out there. And, even we did that even with our kids. But boy, oh boy, that wind out there is fierce. Who's been out to the deserts in California or even Arizona? Or gosh, you must have gone there, Trudy, because you don't have to go very far in San Diego to hit the Andes of Borrego, those deserts out there.
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been there, right? You ever been there when the wind is going strong?
No.
Oh, it's something else. It seriously howls. I mean, I have never heard anything else like that. We get a little bit here, but no, in the desert it goes, woo, right? So somebody wrote up a song about it, and they said they call and said, especially since it's March, we have to sing it. March is famous for what? Besides St. Patrick's Day, the winds, March winds, right? So we're gonna do some winding, some side to side. I want you to move side to side. Can you move side to side? Like really move, because this is a call the wind. What?
Well,
Mariah. That's right. You ready? Away out west, they have a name for wind and rain and fire. The fire is Pete, the rain is Joe, and they call the wind Mariah. Mariah, everybody sing, come on, Mariah. They call the wind Mariah. Before I heard Mariah's name and heard her wail and whining, I had a guy, he had me, and the sun was always shining. And then one day I left that guy, I left him far behind me, and now I'm lost, so God I'm lost. Not even God can find me. Everybody sing Mariah, Mariah. They call the wind Mariah. Oh yeah, it can really get bad out there. I'm telling you. I know John knows about that wind up on the bays and out on the ocean, right? Yeah. You've seen some wind. You ever get in a really bad storm, John?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. What did you run down in the hold of the ship, or what did you have to do?
Well, just kind of.
No. All right. Well, I'm telling you, I wouldn't want to be on the shore. You know, that actually happened to my sister-in-law. She was actually, I think it's her current husband, but when he was young, he was really wild, and he was kind of a wild sailor guy, right? He loved to sail. I should change hats for this story, really. Here. There we go. He was a wild sailor guy, and he loved to, just get on his boat any old time he could. And one time this was back east off the shores of about Cape Cod, Boston, that way. And so he decided to take his boat out, and some of the locals, now he wasn't from the Boston area, he was from upstate New York, right? So he didn't really know about the winds out there and all. And so he decided to take my sister-in-law, Mary Jo, and he out on this boat, and they were just dating, right? And he took her out on this boat despite the fact that all the natives said as he was leaving the harbor, don't go out. There's a squall, there's a big storm coming. And, you could get caught in it. But he saw that it was clear, right? And he didn't know the Boston weather very well at all. And so he goes out, he and his date, my sister-in-law, go out, and at first it's really nice. It's really nice. And then they get out, they can't even see the harbor, they're out in the ocean. And all of a sudden, the wind started howling, and the boat is just moving side to side to side. And there was literally nothing that they could do.
That's the shit.
And my sister-in-law was so scared. She said she thought she was going to die. And she went into the hold of the boat, and she just went into a corner and prayed. And finally, he had to call the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard came and rescued them. But boy, what is that? That is a lesson. What does it teach? Listen to the locals, baby. Listen to those locals. If they say it's going to storm, they usually know better, right? Because you got to do that. Oh, man, because you get in big trouble. I actually had that time. I had that once where I didn't listen to the locals. We were in Hawaii, and we would love to swim at every single beach we could, but it was starting to get kind of raining. But in Hawaii, it's warm rain. And we thought, well, shoot, we can get in the water anyway. And the locals said, don't do it. don't go out in the and swimming in that beach. And I said, is it dangerous? They said, no, well, sort of. They didn't exactly tell us why. And I went out swimming in that water and it was just beautiful and warm. And all of a sudden, I felt this horrible, horrible pain in my derriere.
Uh-oh,
And guess what? A
shark.
big old jellyfish had stung me. And thank God my husband was right near there because I could barely swim back.
Oh.
And I got on the, anyway, it was a heck of a deal. And that's what it was. The locals probably knew all the jellyfish come up when it rains.
Wow.
But I didn't listen to the locals, and boy, did I pay. I walked around and I was limping for a couple of days. It's that one jellyfish sting. But anyway, so listen to the locals when you go up in the hills or out on the bay or at Lake Nacimiento. Did you ever go boating out there, Lake Nacimiento? There? Neville? Did you ever take a boat out there?
One time.
Was it, why? Was it too hard? Or were you with the wrong people?
Water is rough up there.
Oh, it's rough out there, huh?
Water was rough that day.
Yeah, it is. Because sometimes it gets rough and you can get seasick and stuff like that, right? Right. It's going up and down and up and down. Oh, yeah. Well, I figured out why sailors are so prone to drink because that's what they used to do instead of Dramamine, right? That's the Irish seasick cure. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But we're going to do a song. Wait, I guess this will do for a sailing song. I have a great sailing, since we're talking about sailing and sailors. So, John, you know this one. It's called What Do You Do with a Drunken Sailor? All right? So put your hands together. Do some clapping, not napping. Okay, come on, you guys. Like that. Hands together now. All right. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. Woo-wee, up she rises, woo-wee, up she rises, woo-wee, up she rises early in the morning. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Throw him on the bilge and make him drink it. Throw him on the bilge and make him drink it. Throw him on the bilge, make it drink it early in the morning. Ooh-wee, up she rises. Ooh-wee, up she rises. Ooh-wee, up she rises early in the morning. What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? You do with a drunken sailor early in the morning. Throw him in the cab with the captain's daughter. Throw him in the cab with the captain's daughter. Throw him in the cab with the captain's daughter early in the morning. You ain't never seen the captain's daughter. You ain't never seen the captain's daughter. You ain't never seen the captain's daughter early in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. You know that? Who knows that song? How many people know that song? I know John knows that song because he sang it. He did a sea chanty. He got up and did a jig when I sang it last time. Right? Because he's met John. Now don't fib. You've met a couple of drunken sailors, haven't you?
A lot of them.
A lot. So there you go. So you got to have a song about them because they're kind of famous. Okay. Did I tell you about my drunken sailors story?
No.
Oh my gosh. This is something that I didn't tell. This story is could have been literally life-threatening. And I didn't tell my mother this story until about a year before she died. So she wouldn't spank me or slap me for being so stupid. Okay. So this is what happened to me. Because I grew up in Vallejo, but my father had been in the Navy. He had spent, I want to say almost a year on one of those big ships. And he was just, he did not like sailing. He was done. You know what I mean? He was just like, been there, done that, didn't want, even though it's interesting because he loved pictures of ships, and all in the house that I grew up with, there were pictures of ships on the wall. And I think that's because he had been in the Navy and he had respect for them, but he didn't really want to go on them, right? So I had never been really on a sailboat at all. And I was about 28 years old. And my friend was taking a sailing class. And she said, oh my gosh, there's a chance for you, Katy, to go on a sailboat ride out in the bay. And I was, with my husband here, but, she said, but there's a problem. You can't take Jack. Now, I should have known right then that, that was a problem, right? They just wanted me there. But I figured it was my two other friends, and one of them was this big, tall dude. And there was my other two friends. And I thought, well, it's fine. Nobody's going to bother me, right? There's three of us. So anyway, so I decided to go, and it was a beautiful day. And I get on the boat with my two friends. And before I got on the boat, we met the guys that owned the boat. They come out, and you know what they did? Now, I'd never met them before. I know them from Adam. They took one look at us, and they ran up in the boat, and they went into the hold of the boat, and we didn't see them for hours, basically. I don't know if they were scared of us or they just didn't like us or whatever, but anyway, we didn't see them. So there we were. I guess they had the motor going on because they weren't up handling the sails. It was a sailboat, but it also had a motor in it, right? And so we were sailing out, or going out into the bay, and it was so beautiful. I mean, I would like to do this again someday, but not with a drunken sailor or two. Anyway, we're going out in the bay, and it's just gorgeous, and everything's beautiful. But then all of us start noticing that we're drifting. The boat is drifting towards. There's a very large bridge. It's called the
Golden Gate.
You got it. We're drifting towards the Golden Gate Bridge. And we're like, wait a second. If we go beyond the Golden Gate Bridge, we're going into the ocean. Oh, no. We didn't sign up for that. We did not sign up for that. Plus, the guys that were, quote unquote, steering the boat, they were down in the hold. And so we decided, well, we should tell them about this. Maybe they don't know. And so we went down in the hold of this boat, and sure enough, here were these two drunken sailors. I mean, there was at least 2 6-packs of cans rolling around in the hold of the boat, and they're like sitting like this. Just like that. And we're like, excuse me, but do you know that this boat is headed out to the Golden Gate Bridge? And it's just sort of seeming to drift out to the Golden Gate Bridge. And they go like this, ha, 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 and they laugh for about 20 minutes. They finally, one of them says, well, there's a problem. And I said, what's the problem? He said, well, there's no wind. And well, we ran out of gas. We ran out of gas. So what does that mean? That means that the boat, and it was a pretty big sailing boat, was drifting with the tides. And the tides were taking it out towards the ocean. Oh my gosh. I was like, no way, Jose. I'm not going to Davy Jones's locker. I'm not even 30 years old. And so guess what I did? Okay. I didn't know how to use the radio or anything like that on the boat. So I got up in the old fashioned way, stood in the prow of the boat, and I had some nice bright clothing on, thank goodness. And I have a big loud voice. And I started jumping up and down and saying, help, help. And, just jumping up, making all kind of noise. Finally, another boat came and said, we told them what the problem was. I mean, a couple boats came. One of them said, oh, sorry, I can't help you. Second boat said, okay, we can help you, but we can't take you back to Berkeley. which is where we were portaged. We have to take you to Vallejo. I said, oh, well, that's okay. I know people in Vallejo. We'll get a ride back to Berkeley, right? And the guys, guess what? The whole time while this other boat was roping their big ropes to our boat, the guys who owned the boat were down in the hold still drinking. They didn't even know that their boat was being towed until it started moving back. There was sort of a bumping because the two boats were bumping, against each other, and they come out of the hold of the boat, and they're all so they can barely see. They're blurry eyed, and they're going, "What's going on?" And we said, "Well, we're getting towed back to Vallejo because this guy, he's not portaged in Berkeley, he's portaged in Vallejo, and we were drifting out to the ocean." And the sailors went, and they went back into the hold. And sure enough, we got back to Vallejo. Everything was safe. But I was like, now at that point, my parents lived in Vallejo, right? Do you think I called my parents? No, because my parents would have said, what the heck were you doing out there on the San Francisco Bay with a couple of drunken sailors? I would have been lectured to the end of their lives, right? So I called a dear friend of mine, and she picked us up and she drove us to Berkeley, and we told her this story, and she laughed all the way to Berkeley. She said, "You fools! You could have got, oh my gosh, so many bad things could have happened to you." And we were like, "Oh, I guess so." So that's why that song means a lot to me. What you do with a drunken sailor. And that song is a sea chanty. Sea chanties are very cool. In fact, did you know, Neville? I know you've been on a boat once, but did you know back many, many years ago that sea chanties, I know John knows this because he was on a boat a lot, but sea chanties were actually helpful for keeping the boat's sails straight. Did you guys know that? I'm here to educate. Yeah, they would sing. This is way back and during the times where everything, a lot of things were transported on wooden boats, right? And so the way the sailors would do is this chanty man would sing a song with a beat, right? And he would sing a song with a certain beat, and he'd keep that beat. And the beat was every time it was the beat, that was the sailors who were pulling the sails. That was their cue to pull the sails more, right? To their beat. So that's why sea chanties, there's so many of them, and they were important back then. All right, so I'm going to do another one. Okay, I have to find out. Hey, Trudy,
Yeah.
since you were out in San Diego, you must have been on a boat. Did you get on a boat? Boy, that's a good place to sail.
Yeah, I've been on a boat with some friends of mine.
Yeah, was it fun?
It was nice.
Yeah, you didn't get seasick?
No.
Yeah, it's so funny that time I went with those drunken sailors, believe it or not, I didn't get seasick at all, because I have been seasick before and it is not fun. All right, so we're gonna sing this other sea chanty. Okay. Blow the man down, right? You ready? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, you ready? Now this song, I want you guys all to pretend you're in a boat, and the boat's kind of going side to side like this. So can you move side to side? All right, so I'm going to sing this song, and then I'm going to tell you there's a real historical part of this song. Okay, it goes like this. As I was walking down Paradise Street to me way, hey, blow the man down, a pretty young damsel I chanced for to meet. Give me some time to blow the man down. She was rounding the counter, unbluffing the bow to me way. hey, blow the man down. So I took in all sail and cried, way enough now. Give me some time to blow the man down. I hailed her in English. She answered me clear. Way, hey, blow the man down. I'm from the Black Arrow, bound to the Shakespeare. Give me some time to blow the man down. She says to me, will you stand a treat? Way, hey, blow the man down. Delighted, I said, for a charmer so sweet. Give me some time to blow the man down. We walked and we talked, and her name was Gwen. Way, hey, blow the man down. I kissed her a couple and kissed her again. Give me some time to blow the man down. Along comes a sailor, they call him Half Ton. Way, hey, blow the man down. He says to her mother, she murmurs, my son. Give me some time to blow the man down. She says to him, son, here's your new daddy. Way, hey, blow the man down. But I says I'm bound for the rolling sea. Give me some time to blow the man down. All right, what does that mean? What's that song mean? Anybody know? It's an interesting song, and it's true too. It's not made up. It's not fictional. It's sort of fictionalized, but not really. It's about a terrible practice that wooden ships captains did for literally probably more than a century. And in fact, for some reason, they call it Shanghaiing instead of just kidnapping. The poor town of Shanghai got, blamed for it. But it happened all over, and especially it happened in port cities, of course, San Francisco being one of them. And what would happen is a wooden boat would cruise into a port, right? But they'd realize, because, some of the sailors would run away because it was sailing back then was so hard. Can you imagine what they ate?
What did they?
It's just horrible. So dried fish, dried meat, hardtack, which was just like a bad cracker. I mean, that's what they had. Can you imagine that? People lived on that for literally months. And so anyway, these sailors, they'd run out of sailors, right? So what they do is they go to the sleazy part of town. They'd engage a prostitute. They say, hey, if I'm going to give you some money, if you go, the captain would say to this prostitute, go to a bar, and if you see some big, strong guy, go, make eyes with him, and basically said, not tell him you're a prostitute, but basically woo him, right? Seduce him.
Uh-oh.
Right? And she'd seduce him, but she said, oh, I want to go back to my room, right? Well, on the way back to her room, they'd stop in an alley, and unbeknownst to the sailor, in that alley is another, that man was another one of the sailors, like the first mate of the ship, and he would blow the man down, which means like that. He would knock him out.
That's the shit.
That's right. And they drag him onto the ship, they'd carry him onto the ship, and then the ship would take sail the next morning, and he was basically kidnapped.
Wow.
And he had to work for his passage back to wherever he was from. Isn't that terrible?
That's the shit.
Yeah, and that happened. That was a regular practice. That's how people, got on ships, those clipper ships sometimes. Wow. Things were tough back then. We think they're hard now. Oh no, they're tougher. So let me see if I can do another one. Oh, but I love stories about pirates and sailors and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, I probably would have sailed away on many more ships. But I actually did have a problem with seasickness and once, and boy, oh boy, did I suffer. Oh, it was bad. Oh, here we go. I'm going to do this one. This is about a guy who gets on a wrong boat, and sure enough, it's another one with a bunch of drunken sailors. Instead of they're in the Bahamas, I believe, right? And this is the ship. It's the John B. Sails, right? Or the sloop John B. A sloop is a big wooden what? It's a boat, right? So this is a song, and I love the chorus. I want to go home, right? This is when you've gotten on a boat on some sort of ship, probably like when Neville was out in Nacimiento Lake, and it was getting to, you know, he wants to go back to his campsite or his trailer. I want to go home. Get me off this boat, right? Yeah, yeah. So this is a song about hanging out down the Bahamas. And actually, I almost did this because I was in Jamaica for a little while, and I had thought, well, shoot, wouldn't it be great to work on a boat? But then I thought about the time I got really seasick, and I decided not to. But it goes like this. It's a great song. He sailed on the ship John B. My grandfather and me. Round Nassau town we did roam, drinking all night. Pretend we're on a ship now, side to side. Got into a fight. Oh yeah, I used to break up. I wanna go home. So hoist up the John B. sails. See how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore and let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. Let me go home. Oh yeah, this is the worst trip I've ever been on. When the first mate, he got drunk, broke up the people's trunk. Constable had to come and take him away, take him away. Sheriff John Stone, please leave me alone. Oh yeah, I feel so break up. I wanna go home. Everybody sing. So we're gonna hoist up the sails. Come on, you guys, move your hands. Hoist up the John B. sails. See how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore and let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. Please let me go home. Oh yeah, this is the worst trip I've ever been on. Last time, cook, he got the fits, ate up all of my grits. Then he went and ate up all of my corn, all of my corn. Oh, let me go home. Please let me go home. Oh, yeah, this is the worst trip I've ever been on. One last time. So hoist up the John B. sails. See how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore and let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. Please let me go home. Oh yeah, this is the worst trip I've ever been on. Oh yeah, that's a great sailing song, huh? So, Beatrice, I didn't ask you, did you ever get on a boat?
No, ma'am.
Oh,
No, thanks. You don't have your sea legs.
Just thought about it. So many years ago,
I didn't hear that.
we took the family out for a ride. We went on the boat.
Okay. Well, I actually, the first time I got on a big ship was in Ireland. I'll have to tell you my seasick, the Irish seasick sailing cure. I was taking a boat from Holland to England. I was 21 years old. I was traveling with my friend. She's Irish American. We were going to go to Ireland and see her relatives, but we were going to stop in England. And we'd been invited to a very proper 21st birthday party of one of our friends who had met an English lady, but she was living in The Hague for a while. Anyway, she was having a birthday party. And so she invited us. That was so sweet. And so we were on this boat going towards England, but it was in May, early May or something like that. And the North Sea is really rough. It is really rough waters. And we were on it, and we didn't have any Dramamine because we were pinching pennies, and Dramamine cost money, and we weren't going to pay for that. We thought, well, it's just a little boat ride. It's just, it was like little boat ride. It was about 8 hours, 6 hours long, but that can be a long 6 hours if you're seasick. Oh my gosh. So we get on the boat and we're okay. And then all of a sudden, sure enough, the boat's going like this. And we're like, oh man, we're seasick. Oh, and we're starting to, get towards we're going to throw up and all terrible stuff. And we're walking around because it seems like it's better if you keep walking. If you sit down, you're really sick. Anyway, so we're walking along, but we still look really bad. And these Irish workers were sitting there playing cards. And they yelled at us. They said, you ladies look terrible, You're just, what's wrong? You're turning green around the ears. Are you sick now? And we'd say, yeah, he's sick. We're getting seasick. And they said, oh, well, come over here then, because we got a cure for that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. So we go over there, and sure enough, they had a big old flask of Irish whiskey. And they said, okay, we're going to share a little. This is the Irish seasick cure. You can have a little bit of it. Don't take too much. And we said, okay. And so they were very nice. We just took each a swig. And sure enough, we're feeling better. And we're walking around, and then we could sit for a while. They're walking around and, feeling a little better. And then all of a sudden, oh no, you're sick again. So guess what we did?
Whoa.
We went back to the Irish sailors. We went back to the Irish fellas, and they said, do you have any more of that seasick cure? And they said, sure, have a little. And so we did that every hour on the hour, and we didn't sleep.
No, guess not.
And we had the Irish seasick cure all night long. And we arrived at the station, the railroad station, after getting through customs or whatever. And we looked like, oh my gosh, what the cat drug in. We were, oh man, we were like, oh, and that was terrible because we made a terrible first impression. And the whole with the family, because her family, our friend's family, came to pick us up at the railroad station, and there we are looking like two drowned seafaring rats. And so, right. And so they were like, who are these people? And in fact, the rest of the time we stayed there like 2 days, and they treated us like we were just the scum of the earth. And well, anyway, you can't blame them. So we lived and learned, and that's why I haven't gotten any other big boats without my Dramamine. Do it with your Dramamine instead of the Irish seasick cure, or you might have a problem. All right, well, listen, it's that time, folks. We're going to wrap it up. So I want to do, if I can find it, a song about rain. Let's see if I can find this one. We haven't finished our rain dancing. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'm changing hats. All right. So this is about, it's from the Temptations, and it's called I Wish It Would Rain, right? And I want you guys to dance, okay? I'm trying to warm you up. So we put your hands like this, okay? And then you're gonna go like this, side to side. Can you just move a little side to side? Neville, can you do that a little bit? Or if it hurts, don't do it. John, Wayne. If I say your name the right way, John Wayne. Okay, John Wayne, I want you to move like that. Okay, you ready? And Beatrice too, she's on it. Goes like this. Sunshine, blue skies, please go away. A girl has found another and gone away. With her went my future. My life is full with gloom. For day after day, I stay locked up in my room. I know to you might sound strange, but I wish it would rain. Oh, I wish it would rain. Rain, rain. 'Cause so badly I wanna go outside, such a lovely day. But everybody knows that a man ain't supposed to cry. Listen, 'cause I gotta cry, 'cause crying eases the pain. Was people that hurt I feel inside. Words could never explain. I wish it would rain. Everybody rain. I wish it would rain, rain, rain. Day in, day out, my tear-stained face pressed against the window pane. My eyes search the skies desperately for rain, 'cause raindrops will hide my teardrops, and no one will ever know that I'm crying, crying. I wanna go outside for you. It might sound strange, but I wish it would rain. Everybody rain now. Come on, we're gonna do our rain dance. I wish it would rain, rain, rain. Oh, I wish it would rain, rain, rain. Oh, the big storm. All right, you guys. All right. So we did our rain dancing. So hopefully it will start raining in a couple days as we need it. And in the meantime, enjoy the sunshine, the little sunshine we have, and go out and listen to the birds, right? Smell the blossoms. Look at the blossoms. They're very pretty and they only last for a little while. And also, of course, what's your homework? Okay. What you got to do? Sing, right? Sing your favorite songs and listen to your friends' stories. Tell your own story, right? And be nice to all your friends there. Okay. All right. And don't forget to breathe either. All right. So I'm going to pack it up just like this. Be well. And this is about a bird too. A blackbird. All right. Pack up all my cares and woes. Here I go. Singing low. Everybody sing. Bye, bye, blackbird. Where somebody waits for me and sugar sweet. So is she. Bye, bye, blackbird. No one here could love or understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed and light the light. I'll be home late tonight. Blackbird, bye-bye. Blackbird, bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for your own stories, by the way. And thanks for singing along and dancing along. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Okay?